गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज जय जय हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा गौर हरि हरि बोल
He needs to leave from we can do there. Okay. मीटर लेकर लगाना पड़ेगा साइड लगाना पड़ेगा ज़्यादा तो
ब्रिक्स है
भी पूछा था पैदा से बारिश भी
तो बाहर भी गिरे नहीं कल तो अच्छा खासा जम गया
फास्ट है इन्हीं के लिए फास्टिंग होता है the program I'm having? It's okay. Do both. No, it's okay. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
सरस्वती
नरसिंहतो कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च कुमाराय
Six.
6.1.66 यतस्ततः चोपनिन्ने
यतस्ततश्चोपनिन्ये
यतस्ततश्चोपनिन्ये
न्यायतो न्यायतो धनम्
न्यायतो न्यायतो धनम्
न्यायतो न्यायतो धनम्
न्यायतो अन्यायतो धनम्
भवारास्य कुटुम्बिन्याः
भवरास्य कुटुम्बिन्याः
भवारास्य कुटुम्बिन्याः
भवरास्य कुटुम्बिन्याः
कुटुम्बं मन्दधीरयम्
कुटुम्बं मन्दधीरयम्
कुटुम्बं मन्दधीरयम्
कुटुम्बं मन्दधीरयम्
यतस्ततश्चोपनिन्ये
न्यायतो न्यायतो धनम्
न्यायतो अन्यायतो धनम्
भवारास्य कुटुम्बिन्याः
भवरास्य कुटुम्बिन्याः कुटुम्बं मन्दधीरयम्
यतस्ततश्चोपनिन्ये
यतस्ततश्चोपनिन्ये
न्यायतो अन्यायतो धनम्
न्यायतो अन्यायतो धनम्
भवारस्य कुटुम्बिन्या
भवरास्य कुटुम्बिन्याः
कुटुम्बं मन्दधीरयम्
कुटुम्बं मन्दधीरयम्
यतः
ततः
wherever possible,
wherever possible,
however possible,
however possible,
cha
cha
and
and
upaninye
upaninye
he got
he got
nyayatah
न्यायतः
properly,
properly,
अन्यायतः
अन्यायतः
improperly,
improperly,
dhanam
धनम
money,
money,
bhavara
भवार
maintain,
he maintained,
asyaha
asyaha
offer,
offer,
dunya
kutunbinya
possessing many sons and daughters,
possessing many sons and daughters,
kutumbam
kutumbam
the family,
the family,
mandati
mandati
bereft of all intelligence.
bereft of all intelligence.
I
I
am
am
this person.
this
this
person.
person,
Ajamila.
Translation. Although born of Brahmana family, this rascal, bereft of intelligence because of prostitutes' association, earned money somehow or other, regardless of whether properly or improperly, and use it to maintain the prostitute's sons and daughters. Next verse. यदसौ शास्त्रम् उल्लङ्घ्य
यत् असौ शास्त्रमुल्लङ्घ्य
स्वैराचार्य अतिगर्हितः
स्वैराचारी
अतिगर्हित
अवर्तत चिरं कालम्
अवर्तत चिरं कालम्
अघायुरसुचिर्बलात्.
This Brahmana irresponsibly spent his long lifetime transgressing all the rules and regulations of the Holy Scripture, living extravagantly and eating food prepared by prostitutes. Therefore, he is full of sins, he is unclean and is addicted to forbidden. Purport by divine grace. Food prepared by an unclean, sinful man or woman, especially a prostitute, is extremely infectious. Ajamila ate such food and therefore he was subject to be punished by Imran.
श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददातीशं पदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च पादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरकृष्णे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रनाथाय ते नमः कल्पतरुश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम
कंस्ट्रक्शन कितना ही कर लो पुश
Chapter 1, text number 66 and 67. Although born of a Brahmana family, this rascal bereft of intelligence because of prostitutes' association earned money somehow or other, regardless of whether properly or improperly, and used it to maintain the prostitutes' sons and daughters. This Brahmana irresponsibly spent his long lifetime transgressing all the rules and regulations of the Holy Scripture, living extravagantly and eating food prepared by prostitutes. Therefore, he is full of sins. He is unclean and addicted to the body. So, Srila Prabhupada is writing for poems. Like, Haribol. Where you at? Okay.
किचन में है।
Food prepared by an unclean, sinful man or woman, especially prostitute, is extremely injurious. Chaitanya Charitamrita also says that विषयर अन्न खायलं मलिन व्हायलं मन, मलिन व्हायलं मन नाही कृष्ण रसमारण. If we eat the food prepared by a sinful person or those who are addicted to sense gratification, vishay, people think it's a food only. And nowadays, they in the hotels, restaurants, they show it that they are very clean keeping. But the people who are involved in cooking, what they are doing, their activities, simply by wearing the hand gloves and nice looking dresses, that also they don't follow. Many places, if you go to the kitchen background, they're all don't take bath. Oftentimes, they're just cooking like that. Sometimes they're smoking. The drinking habits also. Especially in cities, restaurants will find such kind of situations. So if these people are cooking and people are going and eating there just because of the taste buds to satisfy tongues, they don't realize how their minds are becoming contaminated. Material world, food is such an important thing because it is sustaining our material existence, which we identify ourselves with body. This body is nourished by the food. It is made up of the food what we eat. So that means this body is all in all for a conditioned soul as his identity. And that is made up of the food what you are eating. This flesh is transformation of the food. Blood is also transformation of the food, and that's what the body is made up of. And the subtle body, mind, intelligence, ego, also is affected by the food what we eat. That's why malina hailaman. The food has both places goes. Mind also gets satisfaction if you eat food. Senses, mind, they also are nourished, and the gross body is also nourished. So when we are putting such kind of food, impure food, then that's how we are inviting this infection of other person's mind. Just like somebody is unclean externally and he prepares the food, so he is a diseased person. There is a story of a famous typhoid Mary. You heard about typhoid Mary? If you search, you'll find typhoid Mary. So this typhoid Mary, she used to cook many places. She was a cook, but she had in her body the germs of typhoid. This was called typhoid Mary. Not that her name was not typhoid Mary, but her name was Mary. But she was having a typhoid germs in her body, but she would not get typhoid. She was carrier. Carrier bolte na. So she was carrier of typhoid, and wherever she went and cooked, people gets to get typhoid and die. Sometimes they died also without typhoid. Long back it is. And she was arrested and put in jail for that purpose. So many people died because of this typhoid Mary. And she used to go from one place to another, go on cooking. How many people died? How many people died?
Between 50 to 100. Confirmed.
Confirmed death 150. 50 to 150. Huh?
Infected between 50 to 120.
And those times, 200 years back, 300 back, there was no more tracing of the information. No? How many places she went and how. This is like confirmed people. There will be more also. She was arrested, right? Put in jail also. Quarantine. It was quarantine. Like we have quarantined the COVID people also. Like that she was quarantined. So grossly, just like infection get transferred, she was not having typhoid, but she caused typhoid to so many people. The similar way, whatever mind we have, a person has, who is cooking, his mind's thoughts and his habits, impurities also get transferred to the food. Subtle way. And that's why I said Vishara Anna Khaila Malin Haila Man. Here also it says same thing. Eating the food prepared by the prostitute, therefore is full of sins. And Prabhupada is saying that food prepared by unclean, sinful man or woman, especially prostitute. Even Prabhupada himself also was very, as an example, he said that either the devotee, Prabhuji should cook or Mataji should cook. Prabhupada said, both should not be in the kitchen together, cooking. And Prabhupada said this. Sometimes he said like that. Because man and woman goes in the kitchen together, so there is a natural chances of, looking or interacting with, there can be wrong thoughts coming in the mind, right? So then they become lusty and they prepare like this, and that is going to affect the food. So that's why one should be very cautious from where the one is eating the food. Maximum contamination can happen, mental or even our bodily, health-wise. Nowadays people are very cautious about health, physical health. They will always look, that is FSS, okay? FS. क्या मार्क होता है वो? फसाए, फसाए मार्क. At फसाए mark, they are very careful at food safety, but they are not careful about mind. What is the mindset of the people who are cooking the food? That is a modern man. They are very, very, very cautious about physical health. But then they are reading all kinds of nonsensical literatures, watching nonsensical things on the mobiles, internet, whatever it is. That they are not concerned about mental health. And that's why so many people are having mental problems nowadays. Mental health is so much down, people, because they are not concerned about mental health. They are only concerned about the physical health. So there is no fasai to check the mental health infections. But the Shastras give guidelines that somebody is having like this, One should not accept food from such a person. Mm. And best is devotee's check is whether he is a devotee or not. If he is not devotee, then why to accept food from such a person? विषय अन्न खायला मलिन हालय मन. So one should be very cautious about this particular aspect. Mm. That if we have to take food, better is take the food, because the transmission of the consciousness and karma takes place when there is a grains cooking, especially grains. If you eat grains or salty items, that is where the karma get transferred. That's why usually sweet preparations or the milk preparations, they are preferred in case you have to take food outside somewhere. Better take fruits, milk or milk products. Very safe. Otherwise, cooked by such people in the restaurants, sweet meat shops, then that will affect our consciousness definitely. Srila Prabhupada writes so much in a Nectar of Instruction about how one should be careful about food aspect. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, I think, he quotes and more about as far as the urges of tongue, we all experience that tongue wants to eat palatable dishes. Generally, we should not allow the tongue to eat according to its choice, but should control the tongue by supplying prasadam. The devotee's attitude is that he will eat only when Krishna gives him prasadam. That is the way to control the urges of tongue. One should take prasadam at scheduled times and should not eat in restaurants or sweetmeat shops simply to satisfy the whims of tongue or belly. It's very difficult to nowadays this restaurant cooks also. Even we have experienced our Govindas to keep the cooks. I used to talk to Govindas in Calcutta also. Very difficult to keep them cooks, because nowadays so much of body shopping happens. Every good cooks are immediately transferred somewhere else. And to get devotee cooks is very, very difficult. So most of the cooks in restaurants, even Govindas also, they are not devotees. And they will sometimes have unclean habits also, going out sometimes, smoking cigarette also, some places I have seen. People don't have. And Prabhupada actually wanted Govinda's restaurant to be very high standards, but they are not maintained everywhere. But that is good for outsiders, those who are coming new. In such cases where there is no properly standards are maintained, vegetarian food is there, and some places they don't offer also. In Govindas also I've seen. So if you eat food, such a food, even it's vegetarian food, it's not prasadam also, and it's cooked by the people who are having no devotional practices. Simply we say, oh, it's Govindas. But then we have to see it will going to affect the consciousness. Prabhupada says one should not eat restaurants. One should take prasadam and should not eat in restaurants or sweetmeat shops simply to satisfy the whims of tongue or belly. If we stick to the principle of taking only prasadam, the urges of the belly and tongue can be controlled. In a similar manner, it's another. Before also something Prabhupada said. One may observe that these three senses, tongue, belly, genitals, they are in straight line as far as the body is concerned, and that the bodily demands begin with the tongue. If one can restrain the demands of the tongue, By limiting its activities to the eating prasadam, the urges of belly and genitals can automatically be controlled. In this connection, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Sharira Vidya Jal, Jadendriya Tahe Kal. Mhm. So there are 6 kinds of rasas, and if one is agitated, rasas means taste, by any of one of them, he becomes controlled by the urges of the tongue. Some persons are addicted to eating of meat, fish, crabs, eggs, and other things produced by the semen and blood and eaten in the form of dead bodies. Others are attracted by eating vegetables, creepers, spinach, or milk products, but all for the satisfaction of the tongue's demands. Such eating for sense gratification, including the use of extra quantities of the spices like chili and tamarind, is to be given up by a Krishna conscious person. So, too much chili and too much sour tamarind. Tamarind also causes agitation. Agitates the mind. To be given up by Krishna conscious person. The use of pan, hatak, betel nuts, various spices used in pan making, tobacco, LSD, marijuana, opium, liquor of coffee and tea is indulged into the to fulfill the illicit demands. Some one devotee was telling me while coming in a Srirangam train, he was said that the coffee what they use in everywhere, coffee powder, it is well known that the coffee powder is having mixture of cockroach powder. पता है, know this? कॉकरोच को पाउडर करके, कॉकरोच होता है ना किचन में जो कॉकरोच होता है, हाँ, it has a taste and it is allowed. 5% is allowed in America and 10% in India. That's what they were saying. I have not checked it, but it is added into coffee to enhance the taste, and that is maximum 5% is allowed. 4%, 5% into the in America. In India, more is allowed. And there is some very special coffee. You know what is how it is made up of? They feed the coffee seeds to the cat, one particular cat. Not normal cat, there are different special cats. And then the vomit name, when it comes out of the stool, then that coffee has a better taste. So that is how they drink such coffees. People are crazy in Kaliva, what they will do. That is very famous, that coffee. Is that written right? Cockroach powder? Yes. Permits मतलब क्या, मतलब डालते था. Traces है या they add also for taste?
Dangerous ingredient. It is often tested 10%. While FDA funding these traces among individuals with cockroach allergies may experience allergic reactions. To avoid this, purchase whole coffee beans to grind them.
And the cat one is there.
Yeah.
Coffee seeds are fed to the cat. That also is there. क्या? हाँ, ऐसे कुछ नाम था कैट का. वेरी कॉस्टली रहता है वो स्पेशल. Which cats are these?
called Asian palm sea vegetable.
Copy Luwak. Huh? Copy Luwak. Cats extra tough. Extra tough. So, Shastra says one should be very clean into eating all such things. Whatever tastes good to the tongues of Kali Yuga people, they will eat anything, stool of a cat also. That is what people are crazy. You know, we feel that hog is abominable, they eat the stool, but human beings also eating stool of the cat. And that is very expensive also. If we can accept only prasad, remnants of the food offered to Krishna, it is possible to get free from Maya's victimization. Prabhupada is writing so many times, if you stick to the only prasadam, only remnants offered to Krishna. Vegetables, grains, fruits, milk products and water are the proper foods to offer to the Lord, as Lord Krishna himself prescribes. However, if one accepts prasadam only because of its palatable taste and thus eat too much, he also falls prey to trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us to avoid very palatable dishes even while eating prasadam. If we offer palatable dishes to the deity with the intention of eating such nice food, we are involved in trying to satisfy the demands of tongue. If we accept invitation of a rich man with the idea of receiving palatable food, we are also trying to satisfy the demand of the tongue. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Antalila 6:2-7 it is said, Jivara lala se iti uti dhai, Shishnudar parayan Krishna nahi pai. That person who runs here and there seeking to gratify his palate and who is always attached to the desires of his stomach and genitals is unable to attain Krishna. As stated before, the tongue, belly and genitals are all situated in a straight line and they fall into the same category. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Bhalana khaiba or bhalana paribe. Do not dress luxuriously and do not eat delicious foods. Those who suffer from diseases of stomach must be unable to control the urges of the belly, at least according to this analysis. However, so when we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life. However, if we observe fasting days like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, we can restrain the demands of belly. Okay. So even while being in Krishna consciousness, these guidelines are there. If even if prasadam is there, one should honor it, not just see the ordinary food and eat for the palatable, to satisfy the palate. The food should be kept simple. Sometimes women accept nice feast on festival times, but on a regular basis, food can be regulated and that can be keep our health nice. Very luxurious food also causes health issues also. Not only it agitates the mind and senses, but health also will be affected by that. digestion system will be affected. So better have healthy food and regulated time and cooked by the devotees. That's why should be very cautious about the kitchen, who is cooking, and the consciousness of the cook. That is going to affect everybody's consciousness. Many places we just think it's only a routine thing, जिसको भी है करो, you know. But then from this particular Srila Prabhupada's guidelines, one should be very cautious about what we are eating. Srila Prabhupada started this mission emphasizing always devotees cooking. Prabhupada himself would cook. He would have just outsourced things, no? But he did not do that. He himself was cooking and he trained the devotees also to cook later on. And that's how he started this whole mission. Almost like so much energy goes into kitchen, 50% energy. But it is important for devotees who are living in the temple or ashram or homes also. This is very, very important. Modern man, he is completely so gross, they don't understand also all these things. Many places, the families, both husband and wife are going for jobs and they just either employ somebody to cook in the home, some kamwalis. Usually these kamwalis are coming from slum areas, they don't have any good habits. And many times they are involved in sinful work also. And what they think is that, what is this food only cooking? Why I can go and earn 50,000 rupees and I can just employ this kamwali 5,000 rupees. Why I should be at home to cook? Modern ladies are thinking like that. So in many places they are having kitchenless flats. In Pune, also Bangalore, the flats are coming up, no kitchen. Whole building, no kitchen in the flats. Because both husband and wives are going for jobs. Anyway, they are not going to cook. And the basement of the whole building will be a mess. Mess or restaurants. Just like in hostel you have mess. Now there are mess for the families. Both husband and wife will come and go and eat in the mess. Same things. What the mess person is, who is cooking, no idea. They think food is just for, tongue sake and belly sake. So if somewhere you find the food, you eat. Or they will go to restaurants to eat, paying money there. Because they are earning a lot of money, so they have to spend, so they will spend in the restaurant. But they don't understand how their minds are getting contaminated by such food. Already there is contamination, you keep on adding. So more we are cautious about this aspect, it will help us to become more finer in our aspect, Krishna conscious practices. It says, Malina Haila Man Nahi Krishna Rasmaran. One will not realize also. Unless you make advancement, then only you can see the difference. Those who are accustomed to just eat any and every kind of things, they even don't see the difference. Okay, difference either khana, udhar khana, same thing. If you make advancement in Krishna consciousness, then you can see the difference. Eating a food cooked by devotee with proper consciousness and food cooked by somebody who is not proper. This Krishna does not accept. Baldev Devotion says Krishna accepts only when the devotees are cooking food and offering the food also. In the purport of Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam also. Not here. In commentary of Baldev Devotion there he says Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. 9.24. Here it says that the Krishna accept the food only when it is offered with love. Not that somebody tells you offer it, uh, why me, why is not somebody else? Somebody says I have to do it because I have been told. I don't want to do it. What to do? I cannot say no to it. And from such a person, Krishna does not accept actually. He says that. Hmm. To worship demigods properly, one is required to perform elaborate sacrifices governed by the intricate rules. Numerous pure and trained priests and huge amount of ghee and other difficult to obtain ingredients are needed before one can prepare such yagyas. This is Bhulijan Prabhu's writing. Worshipping Krishna is simple. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, and Toyam are all in the singular. Krishna asks only a leaf, a flower, water, or a piece of fruit. His request is not even for all of them. His actual desire is to test the bhakti of his devotees' offering. Therefore, he mentions bhakti twice in the verse for emphasis. The demigods are pleased by offering, Krishna is pleased by devotion. In this world, if you want to please a very big man, you have to really offer him very appropriate big gift, not like simple things. Nobody sees your intentions or your devotion in the heart. They see your devotion proportionate to what you are offering them. Proportionate means you are really giving big gift. That means you are really respecting him and you are what you call it. Then they will judge you based on that, what you are offering. But Krishna doesn't see what you are offering. He sees what is your inner heart. That's what he says. Demigods are pleased by offering and Krishna is pleased by devotion. A devotee is not the devotee not only offers these items to Krishna with devotion, but he bases his entire life on rendering pleasing service to Krishna. Therefore, the essential ingredients of an offering, the sentiment of bhakti, are not only evoked at the time of offering, but are cultivated throughout the devotee's life. The garden in which the grains, vegetables, fruits, and flowers are sown and grown is watered with devotion to Krishna. The flowers are picked and food cooked with the devotion. Finally, the items are served and offered to Krishna. Krishna says that he accepts Ashnami, such offerings, because his devotee's bhakti has given him an appetite. So that's why we should have such a culture that we should not force anyone to do these activities actually. The deity worship, offering, cooking, they should be done by the devotees with devotion. Not just you force someone to do these activities. They don't want to do it also. Because that will, Krishna will not accept such offerings. Somebody is cooking with grudging attitude because whatever reasons, somebody is offering with a grudging attitude. So we should be very cautious not to force people, but to find out always the devotees who really want to do those things. Because the Krishna accepts because he's devotees. He accepts such offering because his devotees' bhakti has given him the appetite. This verse and text number 14 and 22 describe advanced stages of devotion. In the next verse, according to Vishnu Chakra Thakur, Krishna describes the step below, Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay. Any questions, comments?
Maybe one thing in the duty purpose to regular cooking is good.
Em-
Particularly for stress cooks,
yes.
don't compromise.
Hmm. Employee cooks matlab doesn't mean that non-devotees. I was saying you can employ good cooks means devotee cooks also can be, not that any outside. Some place proper says no. One person wanted to. He was not a devotee. Proper said no. Don't employ him as a cook. He wanted to cook. Regarding prasadam, I never approved Mr. Malkani cooking in the temple. He is not initiated. Of course, he is Hindu, but he went there to start his business. But he is not initiated to cook in the temple. Any paid cook is not desirable. Who is cooking formally? He wanted to start. Who was cooking formally? He wanted to start his business, not to be engaged by us. The independent cooking done in the temple kitchen is not good. In the temple is not good.
So sometimes our cooking also they cook for themselves. What is the confidence?
If one has a health issue, then can be permitted. But just for the tongue's sake, they want to do it, they should be checked.
Because I see that even one cooks are oneself, one is more cautious about the ingredients, quality of ingredients.
Huh.
That's why doing. But when it is done for a program, the contribution is
Uh,
sometimes I become affected by
by this?
this. I also feel that if it's done in a good way for everyone. But then our food still then we do the satya way, people don't like.
That is true also, because we have to see new people, and it is sometimes better that they, if they have some particular need, otherwise they think everything from their perspective. So the cooking should be done properly for the masses, not what I like or what I don't like. If you are cooking, you are conscious. That's why in Jagannath Puri they feed the cook first, so that he is not thinking about the food. That is good. Otherwise, while cooking, he is thinking, "Arey, I will make like this." So it's better that he is already fed separately. From that angle, I am saying. But this, they have health concern. They are cooking separately is good. Not a bad idea. I understand. And as far as how mass cooking, then that you can control it. You can say that don't use so much oil, don't use so much spices. That you can say it. We only have created that culture of, so we have to check that. For new people is all right. They want little bit. In general, our cooking should be done with proper caution like that.
If we have oil,
Yes.
once you fry something, that we know it's designed to use oil.
So don't fry so many things. Why to waste oil like that? Frying. Deep frying also is not good always. Sometimes you fry it, but why every day you have to fry? Then it's all right. This mass program, people eat only once. There you can use oil, but on regular basis we should not use the oil. Hmm.
Like oil which is there, that is only used for us.
We should not use that. We can use other program. You can use that remaining oil in the other programs. Mass program. Whatever is that, I'm saying that on a regular basis we should be cautious that because we are eating every day, na? And in the mass program people eat only once. That is not going to affect their health much. These are serious problems when they are consumed regularly. What you are talking about. So you have to manage kitchen in such a way that the program's remnant should not be utilized for the regular purpose. They can be utilized for another mass program, either for frying or choke or whatever is that like that. That can be done if you just manage kitchen properly. That because people cooks are easy find out kati and you bring it also. See when earlier I used to I had stopped all the tomatoes and these potatoes also. If you were there, cooks would become some days upset. There are no potatoes. But there are no potatoes are brought. I said use. I see they are using because you are bringing. They are not bringing from the market. Why the program required? Why is it required? It's not program are required. We are cooking it. We can have without that also. Or you just bring it for program. Don't bring it extra. Jagannath Puri don't use. Huge cooking they do. 1 lakh people also they cook. Where potato they use? Potatoes are not bad, but I'm saying that if you don't want to use, you can avoid easily that. Anyway, we can discuss it. Bhagavatam is not good to discuss.
That's why he mentioned supporting the writer that I should not encourage independent cooking in the kitchen, temple kitchen. So I think that would be a better concept. What is being going to be offered to the deities?
Yes.
Cooking should be done as an offering to Jagannath and then everyone accepts that as better. Unless someone really has a duty.
Yes.
That is actually most ideal.
Yes. The health concern has to be seen. If there is no health concern, it should not be cooked like that. Whimsically, we should not be allowing whatever they like. That's not good culture. That we have to see that they have health concerns and that can be allowed. Not in the name of health, they are making different items and eating regularly.
I feel what make for themselves is of better quality.
See, they are thinking from health point of view or they are thinking from the taste point of view. That you have to check.
Taste is subjective. Fine. We cannot someone likes something.
It is subjective. And they are frying, they are using paneer, they are using a lot of masalas or they are just eating boiled things.
But it is healthier.
Healthier there, but not everybody will like that. If somebody likes, you can eat healthy food like that. You can cook for everybody also like that. So,
But we have encouraged that culture. Make something healthier even though everyone might not find it
How can people will become upset by that? We cannot force people.
Every day we don't like what mother makes. Sometimes we mother does we have to eat this. Don't like it, but still we eat this.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Like okay.
Usually they are in the homes is small scale, na? So they cook generally nice things.
Not all vegetables everyone likes, but still.
So the kitchen you can make things nicely. It's not that you have to use a lot of spices and everything, but then it also requires attention and time. So if you make the proper things, it's possible. There can be nice food cooked, simple food, and very tasty also. That's possible. But you need to spend time for cutting sabji also properly. Small piece, not just cut dal aloo. So save time, people is usually haribol. Use tomatoes on oil. Why it is used? To make it tasty. But if you are want to make tasty without that, then you have to put really expertise of the cook. There are people who cook very nicely, simple items. But that requires a good amount of energy.
Are we willing to
So that we have to see practically possible.
in that time train the cook?
And they also know it, but then there is requires extra time. People want shortcut always for regular things.
Because they also sometimes like you have so much demand for the programs and how time.
Because actual situation is practically different. Sometimes it comes, not every day it comes. And then you can keep it separate, that part. Don't involve in cooking, cooks there. You can involve volunteers for that. Programs part. And we did also sometimes that. Sometimes they were not there. Both cooks went and there are so many programs. Manage with volunteers. Actually, if you see what they are having load of cooking is not always. Sometimes it comes, but every evening what they are cooking, rice and dal, completely free. Only some 2-3 times in a week they have programs. How many times they have? Thursday and Sunday. Sunday also alternates. Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Sunday is alternate also. Once in a month comes nowadays. Afternoon time comes some small program. 10 people are added extra.
Sometimes they are overloaded. I think most of the program more ideas. We can try to involve more not getting lot of support for
Yeah. Then we can discuss more.
Okay, devotees, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining us.